everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hi, my name is Jennifer, and if I don't get a haircut soon, I'm literally going to be sitting on my hair. I don't know if you guys can see, if you've been watching my channel for any length of time, you'll know that when I started, I had just, I had recently had my hair cut when we started, when I started my channel, which was back in March, beginning of March. And then, you know, everything happened, of course, with COVID, and I couldn't get my hair cut again until July. And I got my hair cut in July, and I cut 6 inches off my hair in July. It's all back. All of it. So I really need a haircut, and I don't have time. So anyway, that's me complaining about my hair. So today I thought what would be fun is if we played with some products that are all available at Sephora right now for the Sephora, not the VIB sale, the holiday sale. So I gotta kick myself with that habit. All of these products are available on the Sephora site right now. I just checked, and hopefully will be available when the sale goes live. I tried to pick things that I don't think will sell out, like they're not necessarily so brand new that they'll sell out, or if they are new, I think there's enough stock. So fingers crossed. So first, let's pull back the ridiculously long hair and bring you guys in a little bit. Okay, here we are, nice and cozy. So what we're gonna start with is something that I don't usually start with. We're gonna start with a primer. I do use primers, but I've mentioned in the past, again, if you've watched my channel, I use basically moisturizers that work as primers. My favorite one is the Victoria Beckham. That one is awesome. But I'm gonna use one today that I have not used before, so this might go horribly awry before we even get started. But this is the Bobbi Brown Vitamin Enriched Face Base. I've heard good things about this for people who have dry skin. I only have a little sample of it, but my understanding is like the normal size comes in a little container like this, a little tub like this. And so I'm not gonna use a lot. I'm just gonna use a little bit. Well, it smells nice. It has like a lemon? I don't know what that is, but anyway. And don't be alarmed by the redness of my skin. Anytime anything touches my skin, it gets red. Like if I massage something in, it's just because I have very reactive skin and I'm very pale and prone to rosacea. That's just what happens. So I'll let that sink in for a second, and let me tell you the products that I'm going to use today. So the products we're going to use today, like I said, are products that are all available at Sephora right now. I don't think they'll sell out just because I picked products that I think will still be there. I'm pretty sure. Of course, what's going to happen is everything I picked is going to sell out in some bizarre way. But anyway, let's try it. The Makeup Forever Reboot Foundation. I actually really like this foundation. I think it's a great foundation for those of us who have more aged skin. It brightens, it smooths, it firms. I think it's really good. It works really well on my dry skin. I have R230, so we're gonna use that as the foundation. We're gonna use the Gucci bronzer. I have this in 01. If anything is gonna sell out on this list, this is one of the things. It's really that good, guys. I don't, look, I'm never gonna be the kind of person who's just like, you must buy this. You don't have to buy anything. And I'm sure most of us, and most of you guys watching, have more than enough makeup in your collections, just like I do. But if you're looking for something and you're like, hey, this is 20% off and I wanna buy myself something because, you know, you wanna buy yourself something, or you just had, you know, a really bad week and some bronzer would make you happy. There's nothing wrong with that. Saying that to myself. The Gucci bronzer is the way to go. Like, it's awesome. Now, I like it because it has like a redness to it. It has a cool undertone to it. If you don't like scent, I really would then not recommend it, because it does have a scent and it does stay with you. Now, I will tell you, the scent has dissipated in the couple of months that I've owned it. It does not have as strong of a scent as it did when I first picked it up. That is true, but it still has a scent. The next thing I'm going to use is the Mcgrath Highlighter. This is the Champagne Gold, the new one. This also has a chance of selling out. So these are the two that I would put a caveat on. And I have heard folks say that there's some concerns about it accentuating texture. I have not had that issue, but I have to be, you know, honest about my skin. Texture isn't really my problem. My problem is my skin is very dry and I have broken capillaries and rosacea. Lines, of course, you know, loss of elasticity, but texture isn't necessarily a huge concern of mine. So I might not see it and someone else might. So make sure you're checking out other reviews, other content creators that you trust, and see if they have similar skin types to yours. But for me, I think it works really well, and I have not found an exact dupe. I have seen some that are close, but in my collection, I don't have anything. I did a video where I showed you ones that are other highlighters. In my collection, I can't find anything that's even close, and the ones that I've seen are close are still more peach than pink. This has more of like a pink champagne, which for me, I really like because of my skin tone. You might not like that, but I'm really enjoying it. The next is the Pillow Talk. This is the Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk Blush. Yeah, it's been around forever. Yeah, everybody has it, but that's why it's, you know, I mean, it's really good. It works really well if you don't already own it. It comes in different shades now, like different intensities. So if you want something darker, I'll put the information down below, but Pillow Talk is the original. It works well for my skin tone, but there are deeper ones now available, which is a good thing. The Pat McGrath Lip Liner. I mentioned in my Sephora sale when I just went through the things that are like the top of the top, the things that I really love, that I don't really love any of the lip liners at Sephora. That is the truth, but I do like the Pat McGrath ones. So I'm gonna use the Pat McGrath liner in Structure today. It's a good shade for me. It's like a pinky brown, and I do like it. Then we're gonna use the Makeup by Mario Mattes collection for the eyeshadows. Now, here's the thing, guys. I've tried this and I've played around with it a little bit. And I have to say, the more I play around with it, the more I like it. Do I love it? No. But that may be because I haven't used it enough. I will say the shades are good, the mattes are good, and they don't accentuate any weird lines or anything on my eyes, which again, for aged skin, we're coming up with the one better than mature, guys. We're working on it. I do like it. At the moment, I still like my Visearts better, but you know, I've had my Visearts for years, so I don't think it's fair to give this a grade yet. I feel like, you know, you really have to play around with things before you can really know if it's like holy grail kind of material. Then I'm gonna use the Dior Show Iconic Overcurl Mascara. I love this mascara. I need to buy another one. Just an awesome mascara. It really gives a lot of volume. It looks beautiful. I love the mascara. And then last but not least, I'm gonna show you a couple of Tom Ford lipsticks. A bunch of you have asked me, and then one person in particular reached out, and I'm sorry, I don't remember. I will find it. You asked me for some Tom Ford recommendations for lipsticks because we have similar skin tones. I'll make a couple of recommendations. Again, I want to be transparent. I don't have as many Tom Ford lipsticks anymore because a lot of them went bad. In the early days of Tom Ford lipsticks, there was something in the formula. They did not last long. So I threw out, I don't know, 20 lipsticks, and I'm not even kidding. And I didn't buy new ones to replace them because I was like, I'll just wait. So I have a good selection, but I don't have a great selection. I have more, frankly, Chanel and Charlotte Tilbury than I have Tom Ford, but I will go through the ones that I do have. So let's go ahead and get started because I think I've let that sink in long enough. We're gonna go in with the Makeup Forever Reboot, and my skin is being very fussy today. Who knows why? So I'm gonna rub this in a little bit before I go in with a brush. Why is it being fussy? Because it wants to be. That's why. Who knows? I'm using the BK Beauty. This is the 101 brush. At this point, this is really the only brush I use for foundation. I either use this brush or I use a sponge or I use my fingers. You cannot get BK Beauty on Sephora, but you can get it on the BK Beauty site. And I would strongly encourage anybody who has, well, pretty much anybody, but anybody who has sensitive skin like mine, this is an excellent brush. and is absolutely worth every penny. And they're not particularly expensive, guys. I mean, they're very reasonably priced. And I do have them in my 1,000 subscriber giveaway. Foundation is on. I realized what I forgot is brows. Brows, Gucci. I don't know why I keep forgetting this product. Probably because it's become so just essential to me. Like I kind of just think of it as, oh yeah, I'm using my Gucci pencil. I haven't used anything else on my brows since I bought this. Now, the only other thing, actually that's a lie. That's not true. I have used the Tom Ford Brow Gel. I haven't used any other pencil. But on my brows, I either use the Tom Ford Brow Gel or this. Those two things are both excellent products. So let me do my brows really quick and we'll come right back. Okay, brows are done. Love that product. Love it. Let's go in with the Gucci bronzer. I'm using the Tom Ford bronzer brush. I've said it a million times, but I'll say it again for anyone who's new. This is the original brush. This brush technically does not exist anymore. What I mean by that is these are natural hair brushes, and they have switched to synthetics. So it's not the same brush anymore. Same style, but different hairs. But some people might want that. Some people might want synthetic. So if you do, nothing wrong with that. I mean, okay. Going in with my face one, just to buff that out a little bit, because for some reason today it's just, things are sticking. I don't know what's happening. Just having one of those days, guys. All right, let's go in with the highlighter, and this is the Wayne Goss Artist Collection medium-sized brush. Not available on Sephora. I should have said the brushes that I'm using are not available on Sephora. They are available, most of them, on Beautylish. So if you took advantage of the sale and you're gonna get some money to spend, I would strongly encourage you to spend it on brushes, because tools, in my opinion, are very important. What's the point of having, great product if you're putting it on with a really bad brush? It doesn't have to be an expensive brush, it just has to be a good brush. I don't believe that everything that's good is necessarily expensive. I just mean, you want something that's made well. Classic Cheek, Sonia G, going with the Pillow Talk. And today we're gonna do what I call Childish Blush, which is if you put it kind of here on the apples of your cheeks, just like right here, like right, you can see like right under the eye almost, and kind of like pat it in. That is kind of where you get that sort of younger, it's a higher placement. It doesn't drag your face down. On most people, it tends to make you look a little bit younger. It's a little brighter of a look. Like a childish, cute little pink cheeks kind of thing. You don't have to do it. It's just a technique. All right, so let's go in with the eyeshadow palette. So first, let me say I'm not using any powders today. Again, my skin has just been very dry. We are now in winter here in New England. I mean, we're still in fall, obviously, because everyone else is too, but it's cold. Like the other day, it was basically like 40 degrees, and it's supposed to snow like really soon. By the time this video goes up, I think it will have already snowed. In fact, this video might go up on Halloween. I'm not sure. If it is Halloween, happy Halloween. So anyway, my skin's really dry, like more dry than normal. So so I'm not using any powder. So if you're really interested in the powder I like, Kojendo loose powder, Chantecaille, pretty much any powder, and the Gucci powder. And the Charlotte Tilbury pressed powder is good for the one that's available at Sephora. See, did that just like that. Okay, so I have swatched this before, but I will swatch it again in case you haven't seen that video. You should go watch that video. I'm just teasing. Okay. And what I said in that video still stands. I don't think these mattes are bad. I think they're good. I just feel like to me, the Viseart ones seem, I don't know, they seem creamier to me But like I said before, I haven't played around with them as much, and I do want to give them their due. So let's see how they work today. It's not that they're not creamy. They are. It's just if you've ever had Viseart, you know, at least to me, the Viseart ones are just super creamy. I also like Sydney Grace. My Sydney Grace video has gone up by now, so you know how much I love them. And hopefully, by the time this video goes up, I will have picked up the Enduring Love palette, because I'm very excited about that. You can see these shades are really pretty too. They're really pretty mattes. I mean, the shades that he's chosen. I think, you know, part of the issue is that everyone, including me, is gonna compare this to the collab or whatever he did with ABH and KKW. That was his first palette, and the formula in there was so amazing, and that palette to this day is one of my favorites, that I don't know, anything else just seems not as good. So I think that's half the problem, right? We're just comparing it, or at least I am, to that palette, and this is a different, you know, this is a different palette. All right, let's do something fun, guys. Let's go in with the Sonia G Builder Pro with the black shade. I know. And let's just put it on the, let's put it on the mobile eyelid. Let's be daring. I know there's people watching this that are like, that is not daring, Jen. I'm like, well, you know, daring for a makeup look that I'm doing. How's that? And I'll blend it out in a sec, but I want to get it down first. I will say it's a pretty good matte. It's going on really well. You can see it's very pigmented. Yeah, I mean, that actually looks really good. And it doesn't feel uncomfortable on my eye, even though it's a matte. And in fact, it feels a little creamy, which is good. Yeah, it feels nice. The reason I say it's important to feel a little creamy even though it's a matte, if something is a very, very dry matte and you try to put it on your eyelid and you're not 12, you know what's gonna happen. First of all, you're gonna get a lot of drag, and you're gonna have to, like, you know, pull your eyelid or hold your eyelid, which the least amount of that you can do, the better. Now, we all do it. I do it. I pull at my lid to try to get something tight. You know, we're all gonna do it, but the least amount of that you can do, the better, because the skin here is very, very thin and fragile. It buffed out well. I think if you wanted to, you could pat it in and leave it there, and you could get an intense look, which is not what I was going for. I'm trying to, like, buff it out and actually up, which is what I did. This is a trick that I use often. I'll put a shade on my lid and then buff it up into, like, the brow area to create a transition, and just use one color. And a lot of times I'll just go, like, I'll put on one shade, I'll do that, and put on mascara, and I'm done. It actually makes it look like you have on 2 different shades, or even more, depending on how much you're willing to blend and pat and blend. But it gives you a really interesting look, and it's really easy to do. Going in with the Builder Pro, and then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go in with this, it's like a, I don't know which, doesn't, just numbers. So this one right here. And I'm gonna put that on the lid itself. Now, I will not be moving this one upward. So I'm just gonna put this over the shade, the black shade, on the lid. Let's see how well these work on top of each other. Not bad. It's actually pretty good, guys. All right, I will take the Wayne Goss 03, go in just the transition, and just buff out that back and forth. Okay, now let's use the flat definer brush. I'm gonna take that white shade, or what's very close to, it's like cream. So I'm gonna put it in the inner, I guess it would be like 1/5 of my eye. Because this is a pretty deep look, and I kind of want to lighten up that area a little bit. If I had a shimmer shade, I would be using shimmer shade, but we're just going to be using the mattes today. So this is a trick, just if you're not, you know, doing shimmers, you can still get some lightness. You can see how I did that to the inner corner of your eye, so it doesn't look like too deep, like you haven't had any sleep, which I haven't. Okay, let's go in with this red shade here. I'm gonna try something. Yeah, this layers really well, guys. What I was trying to see is, like, what if I changed my mind and I wanted to put another color over it? You can actually do that pretty easily. This is letting me change the shade of my eyeshadow pretty quick. Yeah, that let me, I mean, I pretty much changed the shades and layered over one another, and that let me do it pretty easily. Okay. No emphasis, it's not emphasizing any of the lines that I have on my eyes. It actually does look very mature eye, again, I hate that word, but it does look really good. I'm gonna go in with the Wayne Goss 05, this is a very tiny brush, and I'm gonna go in, let's use this shade that we used on the lid before we did the red shade. Yeah, I mean, it actually, it layered really well, guys. It didn't emphasize any lines. That actually looks really nice. I have to say, the formula blended beautifully. I could layer it really well. It obviously can get a really intense look. There's no emphasizing the lines or the texture. There is texture on my eyelids. Remember before I said texture's not really a concern of mine? That's true, but on my eyelids I do have texture. Huh. That looks really good. That's a really intense look, but it looks fantastic. All right, let me put on some mascara and then I'll bring you in for a close-up. We're gonna use the Dior Iconic Overcurl mascara. Okay, so now we're in even closer. So you can see the eye look. Now I'm gonna get even closer to you guys. I have to say, that actually looks really nice on the eye. Like, it's really well blended. You can't see any of the texture, or like I have little like lines on my eyes, and I have like little bumps on my eyes, on my eyelids. I think most of us do. You can't see that at all. So my initial thoughts at the moment, if I were to recommend between the two Mario palettes that I've tried, I think the mattes are very good. The metallics, they're not bad, and I'll link my video above, but frankly, if I'm gonna pick a metallic, I'm gonna pick Sydney Grace or Natasha Denona. I'm not gonna pick the Mario ones. I think those are better. But these mattes are really good. At least for my skin. My aged skin. All right, let me bring you back out. Me and my aging skin. All right, so yeah, I mean, I've been playing around with them a little bit more, and I think maybe, I don't know, I think when you're swatching them, they don't perform that well on the arm, like when you swatch them. It's actually the opposite with the metallics. When I swatched the metallics, I was like, oh my goodness. And then I put them in my eye and I was like, okay. I mean, they looked nice. They looked really pretty. I actually achieved what I thought was a really pretty look. But it wasn't like, oh my goodness, it feels like I have liquid metal on my eye. Sydney Grace kind of does that like off the bat. So does Pat McGrath, so does Natasha Denona. So when I'm comparing it to that, I was kind of like, I don't need it. These mattes though are really nice, and they don't swatch as well as they look on the eye, which is interesting. That's why you always, don't trust the swatch, because the way it swatches on your arm is not the way it's gonna look on your eyelid. Yeah, I really like that. It's a very intense look for me, but I actually think it looks really nice. Okay, so let's move to lipsticks. I'm gonna use the lip liner if I can find out where I put it. Having that kind of day. This is the Pat McGrath Structure. Structure's a really good color for me. It's pinky brown. It's one of my favorites. It's actually probably my favorite. Contour is a really good color too, but Structure's my favorite actually. So shades that I would recommend for Tom Ford. The first is the Balm Frost. This is the one that just came out. I think it's still available. It's just a really pretty glossy shade. It doesn't, it doesn't have really much color. It's just like a glossy. But it's really pretty on your lips. And if you're looking for something a little bit different, a little bit, something, but not too much, this is the way to go. Second would be, and I know the name, Autoerotic. I don't know. It's a good peachy pink by Tom Ford. I really like that shade. I think it's really pretty. Next would be Casablanca. Casablanca has more of a pink to it. This is Casablanca, but it's a really good rosy pink that I do like. I usually use it with a chocolate liner to make it a little browner. Then is So Vain. So Vain is this shade here. So Vain has more of a, almost like mauve undertone. Again, I use it with the chocolate liner and I find it to be perfect. Next is Sugar Glider. Put Sugar Glider in the middle here. Sugar Glider is this one here. It's a very like pinky purple shade, but when I'm looking for something that's like more of a neutral pink, that's the shade that I go with. Again, I usually use it with the chocolate liner. And then the last one would be the Nubile. This is the Ultra Shine formula, so it's a little bit different. It's not really the lipstick. And that's the Nubile right there. For the purposes of today, I could go with a really nude with the Balm Frost. I think I will use So Vain. Yeah, that's a good look. Okay. There we go, guys. Full face using products that I really do enjoy, that are all available on Sephora right now, at least fingers crossed when this video goes up. I'm really liking this Vitamin Enriched face base. My skin feels really nice. I used it with the foundation, the Reboot foundation, which I really enjoy anyway. So I knew how the foundation works, and this is working really well for me. My skin feels glowy, it feels comfortable, doesn't feel as dry as when I started, which is a nice feeling. So that might be something I pick up in a larger size. I'll have to keep using it. The Pat McGrath Highlighter, I really do enjoy it. I think it looks really good on my skin, especially for my skin tone. If you're not looking for something that has a pink shade to it, don't pick it up. As regards to texture, it doesn't bring out any texture in my skin, but I might not be the best person to answer that question. So, certainly ask around and see what people think. The Gucci bronzer, I love it. I have nothing bad to say. The Gucci pencil. perfect. It's perfection. And the Tom Ford Brow Gel, if you're interested in that, again, amazing. Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk Blush. Guys, there's a reason that it became like a huge phenomenon. It works. It's a great blush. The Makeup by Mario Mattes. Really surprisingly, I really like on my eye. I think they look really good. I mean, I gotta say, I'm kind of impressed. I'm gonna play around with them more, but this is like a better reaction than the one that I had when I tried out the metallics. So hopefully that helped with some of the Tom Ford suggestions for lip products. And there's many more out there. I like I said, most of my collection I had to toss, and I haven't started refilling it because I've been buying so many other products, and it just, because we're not wearing, you know, because we're wearing masks, it doesn't seem sensible to me to redo my collection at this point, because then they'll go bad again. So I'll just wait. Dior mascara, love it. I think that's it. I think that's it, guys. So thanks so much for joining me today. This was fun. I'll try to do more of these types of things, you know, as sales go on, holidays come up. I think there's gonna be a lot of sales. Nordstrom, Neiman's, you get the picture. So I hope you are taking part of the sale. This should go up. I'm not sure if this will be Halloween or like a couple days after. Either way, the sale should have started for Rouge members. I don't know if it will have started for VIB members yet, depending on when this goes up. But certainly I'd love to know what you guys are picking up at the sale, if there's things that I really should consider, because 20% off is, you know, it's a good deal. So if there's things that I should be adding to my cart, you should let me know. Thanks so much, guys. Don't forget to hit like, don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you in another video really soon. Bye.